Wow, that was quite the send-on, hey? That video is always impressing me. Good evening, everyone. My name's Jake. I'm the community manager and communications lead at the Vechain Foundation. And it is my great honor today to introduce the community panel for the day, which we focus on companies and community building on Vechain 4. We've got a great set of speakers tonight, each with notable projects, which are well known from the ecosystem, I'm sure. But I won't do the talking for you. Maybe you guys can start with a brief introduction about yourself and your projects.
Sure, I'll start. My name is Mike Leonetti. I go by Satoshi Nakamoto on Twitter. I am a community team member at Apes on Vechain. I do a lot with community building, relationship management, collaborations, partnerships, bringing Web 2 businesses over into Web 3 and showing them the opportunities that they have here. So that's a little bit about me and what I do. I'll pass it over to you.
Sure. I'm Americo Cacciapuoti. I'm also known in the community as Vet I'm the CEO and founder of World of V, which is the first and largest NFT marketplace on Vechain. I've been in the community since late 2017, and since I found out about Vechain, I got stuck, and I've been a big supporter, investor. That's why I wanted to build an NFT marketplace. That's it.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Hi, guys. My name is Lucas St. Laurent. I am the CEO and founder of Exoworlds. Some of you may know me as the half of Vechain Brothers, along with my COO and brother, William Campbell. At Exoworlds, we're building a science fiction MMORPG, an open world experience across an entire galaxy where players will be able to explore, battle, and trade in-game assets.
Amazing stuff. Thanks, guys. So, as we know, part of the Web3 ethos is based around community. So I wanted to start the panel tonight by diving into your approaches to community development, because, of course, that is a cornerstone of any successful Web3 project. So I'll open the floor with a kind of general question. Maybe, Mikey, you can start us off. But what has your approach to community development been so far, and what kind of communities have you developed?
So it's interesting. I come from traditional finance background. A lot of what I do is relationship management, and a lot of that has translated over into Web3. And relating with people and getting on the same page and helping each other achieve a common goal. And that's kind of how communities are started. And then once other people buy into that, they start taking initiative on their own to help grow the brand or the project or the community themselves. And then when you have a bunch of workers going out there and doing things, it makes it a lot easier, right? Many hands make for light work. So yeah, it's just been finding the right people, making sure that they know that they're empowered to go out there and help out and be part of something bigger than just themselves, and taking that mentality and just spreading it around and making sure that people catch on and want to be part of it.
Excellent stuff. I'll pass it over.
Sure. Well, I've always been part of the Web3 community. Basically, I've been doing it out of a passion. I loved hanging out and see what Vechain was doing. That's why for me it was very natural actually to build a community around the NFT marketplace. I just saw it as an opportunity, I would say, because it's something that was missing, and I had to create it. I wanted to bring something on the table for Vechain. And it's something that it's been growing, but, and we're there, just like, we keep building and we keep trying to bring new people in, that's for sure, that's the focus actually. But yeah, that's all pretty much.
It seems like you're quite the natural. You had a hand in the Xnode group as well, right? You're kind of a natural community builder, it seems.
Exactly. It was, for me, before I was doing it, I'm still doing it with the passion. I love what I'm doing. But now it's a job, obviously, because, I'm building something. That's the only difference. But yeah.
Love it. Lucas?
Nice. Well, Exoworlds, we're, like all the projects, we're very heavy on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and we try and do giveaways and engage the community. And like Mikey said, empower people to really go out there and post their own stuff and get excited about what we got going on, because, word of mouth from users is really valuable. And Apes, they've been doing such a great job, actually. We take a lot of pointers from them, because I hear, every time on my feed, I always see MVA. It's fantastic.
You'll be the ecosystem tutor.
Yep.
I mean, it's easy to say, right, build a community, but of course there's pitfalls that comes with that, right? What have you found has kind of been difficult or successful, on that road to building a community?
Personally, I think when you're building an NFT project, it's hard to keep things fresh, fun, relevant. People always want to know what's coming next, win this, win that. And it's like, hey, we got to slow down. If we're going to build something good with a solid foundation, it's got to take time. You got to slow down. You got to make sure that what you're doing is right for the future of the project. You're here to build longevity, right? So I think passing along that message to your community without quite telling them, hey, settle down, has proven difficult, but you just need to find a way to be open, transparent, and have that communication with your community to get past that.
Cool. Anyone else?
Well, I mean, for us, building a marketplace, it's a constant challenge because every day we're receiving feedbacks from the community, and we need to make sure that everything goes all right. Moreover, if there is an innovation, we have to adapt and we have to build. So we need to be very agile. That's been, the most difficult part of this job, I would say, basically adapting and evolving, because every day I can assure you that there is something that we could actually build. It's never ending. So, it comes to a certain point where you need to be very strategic, because obviously we have, we have limited resources, and we have to be very strategic and be like, what should we build? Should we do this or should we do that? And we have to prioritize things. So that's been the biggest challenge. At the beginning, was very tough because we were trying to make everyone happy. But then we actually understood that we can't make everyone happy. It's impossible to make everyone happy. And since then, we've been, really focused. We've been, basically having targets, and then we've been trying to achieve these targets over and over. So, yeah.
Amazing.
Nice. Well, for us, I'd say that reaching our Vechain community has been really, really smooth, and it's been great. I would say that resource allocation, like Americo said, it's the biggest limitation in terms of marketing. How many man-hours you got, how many campaigns you have to distribute those man-hours. But I would say that the real difficulty or challenge that we're seeing is how to bring people from other chains onto our chain. How do we get people on Binance, and how do we get people on Ethereum, which we've cross-chained too? How do we get them to come and participate in our mostly Vechain community? And that's going to be a really rewarding challenge to overcome.
Absolutely. I mean, I can speak even from the foundation level. You naturally end up kind of enclosed within a certain set of eyes that are looking that direction, right? It's not as simple as like, hey, let's build this community. I think obviously that interoperability, which you in particular are kind of working towards, I think that's a good avenue for the outreach and a natural progression, I think, of blockchain. We've all been siloed, and now it's naturally kind of progressing a bit more outward. Excellent. Okay, obviously we're all well aware of our UFC partnership. That's had a lot of, great aspects to it. How impactful do you think that's been in terms of community building for Vechain? Because that's kind of quite a large presence. Vechain is stamped on the world. Americo?
Yeah, sure. I mean, UFC has definitely been good for all of us. It's bringing the exposure that we needed, especially in US, because it's something that was missing. We all know that Vechain was pretty much focused in Europe and Asia, so that helped a lot. And also, it's very important. UFC is one of the sports that it's growing like a very fast pace, and it's basically bringing a lot of exposure. It's good to see people recognize Vechain now, when before that, they had maybe no idea of what it was, but now they are actually linking it with UFC, and when we go out there, I can say that it's helping us a lot, because they can recognize it. We're like, oh, where are you building? And we're like, we're building on Vechain. They go like, oh, this is the blockchain that is actually, in a partnership with UFC. So, it's really helping us to onboard the people, and I think it's been great so far. So
Absolutely.
let's see how it will evolve.
Yeah, I would agree. It's really great when such a prominent brand is exposing, our network. It gives so much renownedness to Vechain. I can say, hey, just watch the next UFC fight, you'll see us, and like, oh, it's not just some blockchain, it's in the octagon. I saw it yesterday while I was having some beers with the boys. Maybe I should look into this, And I think that the demographic of UFC, especially for Exoworlds, the demographic similarities between UFC viewers and Exoworld players is very compatible. So we're really happy with the partnership. I think it's world class.
And of course, you had I forget the term, but you had a networking event, right? Down in Brazil.
Yeah. We actually did leverage the UFC partnership. We were graciously invited to do an event surrounding the UFC, and we brought all sorts of people, actually. Latin America is a very malleable market for cryptocurrency. They're very agnostic, and they're looking for opportunities. They're not siloed in one community. Oh, I'm Cardano, whatever Vechain, or I'm Vechain, whatever on Solana. They're really looking for opportunities down there, and being able to engage with that kind of audience was really rewarding. And personally, I can say that the connections we made through that event, those conversations are still ongoing. And I can't say much, but some things will come out, hopefully, if those pan out, that will really help Exoworlds and Vechain.
Soon.
Yeah.
Check. Mikey?
So the UFC partnership, I love it because I'm a UFC fan to begin with, but I think it's been great for networking and community and just getting the name out there. Actually, it's impacted our project in a couple different ways. We actually had a small partnership with Ken Shamrock, who's a UFC Hall of Fame fighter. He's a legend in the sport, and we actually had a collaboration partnership with him. He owns some Mad v Apes, and we had some agreements back and forth to help share our brands to our respective communities. So that was really cool. But then on top of that, I ran a Chicago VFam community meetup. And while I was there, we were there to watch the UFC fights. And while I was there, I met somebody who, not from Vechain, but he actually he's a founder of an amateur MMA league. And it's the top one in the United States. And so we got to talking, and I was like, yeah, I'm here from Vechain. I was handing out Vechain UFC shirts and sweatshirts and stuff. And he looks up on the TV, and he sees Vechain. He goes, wait, you mean on the octagon right there? And I was like, yeah. And so anyway, we kept in touch. He wanted to learn more about Vechain and Web3 and how to start utilizing NFTs and proof of participation NFTs. And so we kind of took his hand and are guiding him through coming from Web 2 and going into Web 3. So we're going to do that in a few different ways. He's going to have proof of participation NFTs at his events. And what that's going to look like is basically when you register to claim your free NFT, you pick who's your favorite fighter of that night, or who are you most excited to see. And then after they capture all that footage from that night, they're going to chop it up and make NFTs of the individual fighters and then airdrop them to those proof of participation people who are holding that NFT. So now they get another NFT of their favorite fighter from that night, right? And there's just more things you can do with that. We're going to tie in Mad v Apes into that project because they're going to have digital collectibles of their fighters, but we're going to sneak some Mad v Ape fighters in there too. They're going to be really rare, but people are going to wonder what it is. But now what's cool about this is a whole new audience of people who may or may not know about crypto, may or not know about NFTs, but they're going to get a ticket at the door that says, claim your free NFT on Vechain. So now you have 60,000 people or whoever, I think they have 60,000 Facebook followers, but 15,000 or 1,500 people who are there that night that are going to try and claim their free NFT, which is awesome. And it's a whole new audience of people.
Amazing stuff.
So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, great stuff, Mikey. Well done. And yeah, obviously from Vechain's perspective, in terms of community activation, it's been unprecedented. I think for arguably one of the first times Vechain's been able to really unite and bring people together. We've got this amazing event so we can invite people to bring people together, create new even tonight, I guess, obviously so many communities coming together. I mean, it's just been such a great kind of center point for engagement. So I think, it's brought a lot of good. And obviously there's more to come from that relationship. So yeah, benefits all around. Great stuff. Okay. Well, in terms of then, for anyone who's listening that might be interested in starting a project, building a community of their own, do you have any pro tips or any advice you could kind of leave them? A bit of soundbite.
I think first take some time to get to know the other communities and the other projects and how they do their thing, and build relationships with the other existing projects that are there. Because you could learn some stuff that they're doing. You could learn some maybe pitfalls that they're having, and make some adjustments to ensure that you're giving your project the best chance to succeed. You have to take time to build a community. It's not going to happen overnight. You can't duplicate it, replicate it. It has to be there, and it has to take time to build. So supporting existing projects who are doing the right thing, and taking the time to actually build a strong community and a good foundation first.
Love it.
Well, I mean, I can say I have a bit of an experience, and for sure, like for anyone who wants to join, the Web3 space, I will tell them, like, be ready to be agile and be ready to adapt. That's like very, very important. For sure it's tough, but everyone knows that. Even starting a normal company, it's tough. But the difference with the Web3 company is that you're receiving constantly feedbacks from the community. And you need to be ready to basically give them what they want, to adapt. Like a word of V, for us, it's been 1 year and 7 months that we've been around. And I don't know how many times we had to shift our focus. We do have things that we want to build, but then, sometimes you just need to disrupt it and build something else. For example, lately we've been working more and more with Web2 companies, okay? And it's not easy to onboard the people that are not crypto native, or with the people that never interacted with the blockchain, they don't have a wallet. So, that's like a new audience for us. And to make them, download the wallet and install it, it's a bit complex, I would say. Basically, we would push off the majority of these people, and we don't want that to happen. So while we were building many other things, we had to give a priority on building a plugin which allows anyone to log in with their social media or their email and make an account on Word.v and use it to claim an NFTs or to collect some NFTs. So that's a piece of advice that I would give. That's the main difference. It is tough, but really be ready to adapt and listen to the community, because it's the most important part.
Absolutely. It's like social businesses, right? It's an interesting new paradigm, but yeah, I totally agree. Lucas?
No, I agree with both of what they said. If I had to add on, I would say if you're going to enter the Web3 market, innovate. Be creative, deliver something that nobody else is delivering, and the community will see that for the value that it is. Be in touch with what other projects are doing, see what kind of pitfalls they're going into, learn from them. But be original, innovate, see what the market isn't providing for people, and come in and fill that gap. That would be critical, I think.
Excellent. Wow. Thank you very much for your insights there, guys. Well, let's move on to the project details then, because obviously we brought you on stage. We'll give you a bit of opportunity to talk about your excellent projects. So maybe, you could just start by giving us some insights about the project you have and how it kind of uses Vechain's blockchain.
You want to start, Lucas?
Sure. Okay, well, like I said before, Exoworlds is a science fiction MMORPG. We're doing a first-person and third-person dual mode shooter and RPG. We launched last year, and it was in February last year we launched our collection, and we minted out in like 22 hours of the public sale because, I guess we're one of the first in many blockchains to do a 10,000 5K resolution collection that was made with procedural generation. And we're really excited about that. We launched the collection, and then we said, how could we move it up from here? And we wanted to create, lore and a whole game around it. So we're developing an open world game with 10,000 planets in the galaxy, and players will be able to grow their characters and trade items. And when we do get the RPG element in, people really be able to get their skills and get all sorts of factions and different groups and socialize and create dynamics. What we're really banking on is to give the users a group, varied avenues for them to create their own content. You're in a faction, well, there's going to be a tiny little organization for you guys to vote on and to create features and to engage with the game in ways that you want to, because you're going to have all sorts of players coming together and wanting to achieve goals that are in alignment or in opposition and compete. So yeah, we've developed our own cross-chain capabilities, and so we're launching our token hopefully in the summer or Q3 of this year, and we have made a cross-chain system of smart contracts that goes between Vechain, Ethereum, and Binance, whichever way you want to go. And so people really won't be limited. If they're on Binance, they can come onto Vechain and vice versa. So I'm really excited about what we got coming. We actually just transferred so we created our planets in Blender, and that's a whole different thing from a game, So we've actually just converted them into the game, and we're working with some people that created a really, really ingenious plugin called Worldscape, and we're going to feed all of our data, all of our planets into this Worldscape and get fully open world walkable planets. Icy planets, desert planets. We have 8 world types and 122 subworld types. So it's going to be quite a journey to get all of those details in, because we have tropical planets with violet trees. We have icy planets that are barren. It's quite the cornucopia of environments. So I'm really excited about that. And we're going to keep developing. We're going to try and make a metaverse city next year where we can have all sorts of projects come in and be represented, and players come and hang out.
Rad. Yeah, right. America?
Well, yeah. I mean, where to start?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Wait for the next question.
Yeah, I mean, it's been intense. I can say, World of V started as like just an NFT marketplace. The aim was basically to have anyone come to the marketplace, mint NFTs, and to have collectors collect NFTs. Moreover, we started as a semi-curated platform, where basically we would also invite a traditional artist or like Web3 artist to the platform to have curated drops. I'm talking about like a popular artist. And then since then, it evolved into many other things, Right now, I can say that it's a complete marketplace. We have projects, we have PFPs, we have brands using the platform, and actually our aim now is to work more with traditional brands, with Web2 companies. That's why recently, actually it's been a few days, we launched a new division of World of V, which is called WoW Labs, which has a new identity. It's basically made to work with Web2 companies and to bring them into the Web3 world. And we're doing that through the NFTs, obviously, with all the amazing tools that we've been building and that we're using. But yeah, I guess we can discuss about that in a bit to go into details.
Yeah.
Take it over.
So, yeah, you guys are killing it, by the way. I don't know how you do so much, but you get it done. Look, I'm not lost on the fact that a lot of you are like, oh, that's just a picture of an ape, right? It's an NFT, it's just a picture of an ape. But it's so much more than that, actually. It's, you own that token, and that token can, first, it brings you into a community of people who are driven to build a business and a brand, not just a PFP collection, right? So you're part of this community, and it's unique. But beyond that, we have so many different arms to our project, really are building a brand in Web3. I mean, we have Metaverse. We started a gaming company where we're empowering our community who are gamers to enter into tournaments, amateur tournaments, and then hopefully work our way up and get our brand out there and break into the pro gaming circuit and have our Mad Gaming brand in there on somebody's jersey, or who knows, the opportunities are out there and they're endless. On top of that, there's opportunities for passive income and just having fun with the NFTs that you do have. There's a lot of different things you can do, like breeding and mutating. It's just having fun with the art too. There is that aspect of it, but at the end of the day, it is building a business and figuring out ways to add value to your holders who hold those tokens. And a lot of that is these Web2 business partnerships that we are bringing in. We have a couple that we have successfully penned partnerships with, and we have a few more that we're working on too. And actually, World of V has been great helping them get set up with their loyalty rewards programs and their proof of participation NFTs too. So they've been a great partner for us as well. So yeah, it's exciting. It is.
Good stuff, good stuff. Well, that nicely segues.
I want to add something about MedVape. I wasn't part of MedVape since the beginning, but it's one of these projects that basically, it just pulls you in. And once you're in, you feel part of this big family, and it's a family that can really accommodate you. And I think it's very important because, it's not just a picture. Like being a part of MedVape, you actually feel part of a family. And a family that it's going to stay there. And it just feels safe. That's why I believe it's been so successful, I mean, wherever you go, you will see the MedVape branding somewhere representing the Vechain. I remember when I wasn't into MedVape, and then I would see all these apes around. I was like, wow, what's going on here? What's so cool about it? And then once I got into it, I started learning more and more. And then now I completely understand. Yeah. So I just wanted to add that.
No, I like it. I think, I got to admit, you did genuinely impress me, Mikey. Your networking that I've seen, or MVA at large, the networking I've seen from you guys has been top notch.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I see the Twitter feed, and I always see some apes, and the community is so strong. Like, mad props for Mad V Apes. They've done a great job with their community.
But like you say, it builds an identity, and you see these parties going on globally, and it's funny that you rally around, in essence, what is a cartoon character, but it does build a really strong community and sense of identity, which I think has power of its own. And I think that's like the power of Web3, isn't it? It brings cohesion and brings people together in this kind of new, socially driven way. It's a great thing. But yeah, I don't want to make you blush. We'll move on. So we'll move on to the crux then, because there's a reason why I brought you three in particular. I mean, obviously there's other examples in the ecosystems, but you've all got particularly notable examples, I think, of how you've innovated. You've taken the kind of Web3 approach. You've built, I guess you could say, somewhat standard versions of like an NFT marketplace, but you've innovated much further. So for instance, Michael, I'll hand the mic to you, but you're all for program, for instance. I hadn't come across anything like that. Perhaps you could share some more.
Yeah, absolutely. If you stop by the booth, you might have seen our nut butter spreads. That's actually one of our Web2 business partners called All4. And it's a healthy nut butter that has half servings of vegetables, fruits, healthy fats, all in this healthy spread. So it's a great product, but they didn't know where to start in Web3. They didn't know where to go. Our advisor, Connor, he works for Startup Grind, which has access to a bunch of Web2 businesses, and a lot of them don't know how to bridge over into Web3. He saw this company really wanting to get involved and thought it would be a great fit for Mad V Apes. So we started talking about how can we help each other, right? For them, it's getting their brand out there into Web3. It's reaching a whole new audience of people that they might not normally be able to with their traditional marketing and their network that's really right around them. how can we reach a bigger audience? Well, we have people from all over the world in our community. And we reach a lot of different types of people. And then for us, it's like, well, we want to add value to our holders. That's our number one goal. If you hold a Mad V Ape, we want to give value back to you. So eventually, we want to create like a list of products and services that Mad V Apes holders can get discounts to. And this is one of them. So you can go, and depending on which collection you own, you can get a discount for all four. And then on top of that, if we reach a certain amount of sales, let's say 100. On the 101st sale, we're going to get a percentage of that revenue sent back to our project community wallet. And then every sale beyond that, we get a percentage of that sale back to our wallet. And so it's just another stream of revenue so that we don't have to just rely on a little small portion of secondary sales. We're creating other revenue streams for our project. And it's something that we're really excited about because we're giving value to our holders. They can get discounts on products and services. We're helping a Web 2 company explore Web 3, right? See all the opportunities in Web 3, and it's a win-win-win-win. So it's just the beginning. We have a couple on our sheet right now, but we want it to be 100 deep. We want there to be something for, if you need or want something, we want there to be a discount for you. So that's kind of the goal. You got to start somewhere and start stacking those bricks.
Doing great. And just to plug Antonio's previous session, he touched on Forge, which is, of course, this tool suite that will essentially allow the Web 2 legacy companies to plug in their existing tech stacks, pump out smart contracts, NFTs, tokens, things they need to just seamlessly transition into the Web 3 environment. So, we jokingly call it Web 2.5, but it is giving them that first stepping stone, right?
Yep.
Stepping off the safety of the ledge of Web 2. And, Forge is going to be a key part of that. So just to plug the tech of what Antonio just said, this kind of transition, led by Web3 individuals is something that Forge can facilitate. So pass the same question over to you.
Well, I mean, basically it's been more than a few months already. Before the summer, around June, we were dealing with some big companies that actually wanted to explore the Web3 and do something with NFTs. So since then, we've been building the tools needed to onboard these companies. I'm happy to say that so far we've been able to onboard some very nice brands and companies that are actually using our tools. We're doing loyalty programs with NFTs with the different restaurants, and actually we're also doing with like gyms. We're doing it with like ice cream places, like a bit of everything. And I don't know, I just find it interesting to see the potential behind NFTs because like back at the time, whenever I was collecting art NFTs, I knew that there was potential. I didn't know where it could lead us, And now when I see these companies approaching us and then actually giving us ideas. For example, we're working with the gym. Okay, they have a very interesting class. So what they're doing now, whenever you do the class, they're gonna give you the NFT, which is we call it the proof of workout. So like you do the class, you receive this code, you go on WordOV, you claim the NFT. The NFT is actually a soul-bound. Once you claim it, it stays in your wallet. And then here it gets interesting. Obviously, it's a loyalty program. So whenever you have 20 of these NFTs in your wallet, you receive a voucher that you can basically spend it at the gym. Either you can have a smoothie or it can be a free class or whatever. But then it gets interesting because they also have a leaderboard where every month they give the top 3 a limited merchandise. So basically, if you're wearing that shirt or like the hoodie, it's because you've been the one attending like more workouts in this case. And then on top of that, actually they suggested us to do badges. So basically every 50 class you complete, you receive a badge, so you're part of that club, 100, 300, so on. So it's just very interesting. And then, it makes you understand that it's a big opportunity. We can do so many things. Like, it's just the technology that works. And to me, makes perfectly sense because, like, once you're claiming an NFT, all these informations are written on the blockchain, and you can't cheat. Like, if you have it, it's because you went to the class, you claimed the NFT, and then for a business, it's very important because they can see all the movements that these people have been doing, who's been attending, the events, the classes, and so on. So yeah, I find it very interesting, and I do believe NFTs will be part of our life. Actually, for me, it's been since 2011 that I feel like, actually, I know that everything will run on the blockchain. Everything will be tokenized, and NFTs will just be part of our life in a way or the other.
100%.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I would say one of the most, let's see, I got two. The one is we actually, there are some great marketplaces on Vechain, obviously World of VC. What we did when we launched our project is we created our own marketplace. And I think that was a real big hurdle for us to get over. And so now we have our own marketplace for all of the Exoworlds, items and digital assets. And of course, we are on the other marketplaces. So I thought that was one of our first big, innovations. But the real meat of it would be our Unreal to Vechain connection. So we're actually the first to connect the Unreal game engine, which is by far the most advanced game engine in the world, especially with Unreal Engine 5.1 recently. So we've actually connected Vechain to that game engine, meaning in-game we can interact with any Vechain NFT, primarily Exoworld NFTs, but any, which is where my dream of a metaverse city where everybody in the community is represented, all the projects are, that's a reality right now. And we're working on getting that integrated with our Ethereum and our Binance cross-chain capabilities. But it's really exciting, and it's an open invitation for any project to come talk to us. If you guys want to get on Unreal Engine, we have the methods, and if you guys want to get on our game and represent yourselves, have a little store, an experience-based area, come on over. This is a huge asset for the network because any Web 2, any traditional game studio, they want to get their in-game assets secured. They want to get it immutably exchanged. Well, just come on over. We can onboard you guys. And that's what we're working on. Once we release the game, we're going to be creating a platform for Web 2 game studios to be onboarded onto Vechain. And I think that's really exciting.
Very cool. Web3 MMORPG.
Yeah.
Americo, I just wanted to toss it back to you before we move on, just because the figitals as well that WoW is doing, I think, super impressive use case of the technology. Obviously, something Vechain's been working towards for a while, and it seems like you guys are really running with it at the moment. So maybe you could just give us more insight into how that's going.
Well, I mean, I have to say that actually if I started investing on Vechain was because of Figitals. So it's basically since late 2017 that I found out about Vechain, and I was very intrigued by their technology. I work in the fashion industry, and when I found out that Vechain was working with some fashion brands, to track the merchandise, to prove the authenticity, I was like, oh my God, that's the future. Like, this is the blockchain for me, like, what are you doing? Like, so I started investing on Vechain, and I always liked the idea of Figitals. So basically, by Figital, we mean a physical item linked with the digital twin, which is the NFT in this case. And since the beginning of World of we've been having drops with some very popular artists with Figital art pieces. But back at the time, we didn't really have all the tools needed to scale it. So lately, we decided to build on top of toolchain and to allow basically anyone to come to World of V and mint a Figital, which could be anything. You can mint your shoes, you can mint your jacket, you can mint anything. So And that's a very strong technology, because if you think about it, it's like it completes the technology. It's the missing puzzle. Basically, the NFT, it's just not an image, but it's a certificate, okay? And that certificate is the proof of ownership and the proof of authenticity of a certain thing. So I think it's a very strong technology, and actually many fashion brands, started dipping their toes into it, and they started doing something with the NFC chips. They still don't have such a technology, which we have on Vechain and on World of V, but for us it's a game changer, and this is something that we definitely wanna keep building, and we wanna give it to all the brands approaching us. Moreover, I wanna invite you all to come to our stand and mint your first digital. We have the chips, so anyone can mint anything, and just have it as a digital, even if it's just like a simple shirt or whatever, an hat. So that's possible, and it's very easy. All you need is to have a chip. You connect on World of V. You don't even pay for the gas fees, because we pay for that thanks to fee delegation. So it's pretty simple and straightforward. Yeah.
We were talking over dinner last night, and at the next summit, all of the Exoworlds merch will be printed with digital systems by World of V, and that's going to be really exciting. So all the Exoworlds hats and T-shirts and merch are going to be digitals. So that's going to be a great partnership.
Nice. Yeah, I think just to touch on the points you were making, that was one of the things that captured my attention about Vechain. Seeing NFTs back in 2018, which obviously later went to storm the world in this pictorial sense. But actually, there's been a real-world use case for NFTs long before that stuff. And the unique digital identity is just such a powerful, thing. It seems kind of abstract, but actually, DNV, minting a certificate, giving it a unique identity that can be referenced at any moment. For a business, it's a game changer, but it's not very exciting, is it? So.
Exactly. I mean, sorry, just to be honest, in a few years, I don't see any luxury brand not having digitals. Why won't you do it? It's such a strong technology. Why would I pay, I don't know, 500 euro for a pair of shoes when I don't even know if they're real? And, for a brand, it's just like an easy setup. Moreover, they're giving an added value to such a thing. Like, imagine you could just receive the NFT and then wear the same shoes in the metaverse. I mean, that's just fantastic, and I think like all the brands are gonna do that. It's I'm sure it's gonna happen. So yeah.
100%. And even if you were to sell on your luxury sneaker into a second-hand market, the buyer knows it's legit. You transfer them the ownership.
Exactly.
Okay, you got the trail of.
Exactly.
I want to see some interactive 3D sculptures as digitals and interact with the blockchain. That's going to be great.
That'd be yours in the metaverse. Cool stuff. All right, thanks, guys. Okay, well, so Blue Sky's question then. How disruptive do you think Web3 is going to be? I mean, it's quite an ephemeral concept, right? We say Web3, what does that really mean? I mean, how game-changing do you think it will be globally for the economy?
Well, you said game-changing. It is going to be literally game-changing. I mean, we have the Web2 game ecosystem is so siloed. Everybody, come to our ecosystem, buy our V-Bucks, buy our Call of Duty bucks, and buy some assets, and then you're stuck with them. It really doesn't engender a strong community of secondary sales, and what I think that Web3 will be able to give is that transferability. The blockchain is immutable, but you want mutable experiences. You don't want to be stuck in the same experience. So, Web3 allows you to transfer gaming to different gaming ecosystems and keep your status, keep your kind of all of the earned experience and skills and whatnot that come with investing time into a game. You can get that, and you can just move over, and you can move back. It's going to open up the world of gaming in a way that we haven't seen. It's going to liberate so many funds. I mean, there must be billions of dollars that are frozen inside of ecosystems. Now they're going to be transferable, monetized.
EVE Online, that's a big example, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone else want to comment?
Well, I mean, to me, Web3 is going to be obviously a game changer, and it's going to be the way everyone is going to interact, basically, with all the tools that now we have available and the tools that will be built. That, for example, recently Instagram started implementing NFTs, and the next natural step for me for social medias will be to have anyone with a Web3 identity interact with the social medias. So basically, whatever is Web2, our emails, our usual social media logins will be obsolete. And what you're going to need to log into this platform is actually your wallet, which is your Web3 identity.
Cool.
I do think that ENS domains, they will be a big part of our life. So basically, our web identity will be needed to log in into something, or like even to go to a concert or whatever, whereby just your, let's say, username, they can check if you have a membership, if you have an NFT. So that's definitely something that I see it happening. And yeah, it's going to change everything, that's for sure.
I agree. Sure. Mr. Mikey?
What they said.
Yeah. It's going down. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Tokenization of everything. I mean, it's the next. It's the evolutionary step of data management. It isn't. Yeah. It's not like will it, won't it. It's written in the stars. It's coming. It's like take advantage, take notice, learn, and educate yourself, and position for the new era. Because it's not a question of will it. It's a question of when it. Great stuff, guys. Okay, well, we are running short on time, so maybe we'll just do a quick final blast. To any Vechain community or wider that are currently watching, how can they empower themselves with the tools we have today at our disposal, in your opinions? Or future? I mean, Vorge. Americo, have you had any experience with Vorge? Maybe you can shed a little.
Well, I mean, Vechain so far is, I can say that Vechain lately has been building so much, we saw a huge change, and actually it's been great. What's been happening maybe in the last year, I don't know, or maybe a bit over, it's just been incredible. We finally have a great new wallet, which is amazing. I heard that soon we also are going to have the mobile wallet, which is going to be a game changer for us on Vechain. Also, it's going to help us to onboard many new people. I have to say I'm just very happy to see the development that it's been happening lately. That's giving me a lot of confidence also to build on the top of Vechain, and I'm sure this is the right direction. It's something that had to happen, and it's finally happening.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all I can say.
Yeah, we need more builders, right?
We do.
We need more builders. We need to attract more people here. But having those tools to make it easier for builders to come here and just hit the ground running is important. Yeah. So knowing that stuff is coming is a big deal. It's huge. Yeah. As far as how can they get started? I think leaning on the existing community, finding people that can help you get started. Point you in the right direction, or the right tools, or the right resources. That's a great way to get started with what we have today. But I think the tools that are coming are going to make it easier to attract new builders, which in turn will help us attract more community members as well.
100%, 100%. Well, I see we're running short.
I got a quick little thing. Outside of the developers, I think it would be really important for our community to get a wider knowledge about the network, see how it works, and one amazing tool that we have that not many do is Vechain Stats. It is a world-class block explorer, and by going through it, by checking out what's going on the blockchain, everyday users can empower themselves with the knowledge how it works, and we truly have something that not many other chains do in terms of block explorers, so check it out. It's very powerful. It will empower you.
Fabian's in the crowd. Good job, Fabian. All right, well, we've got the red light flashing, so that means we're going to have to call a quits on the session. But thank you, everyone. It's been great to be up in front of you all with this all-star lineup of community speakers. So great job, guys.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, everyone.
Thank you.